Hi, I'm Liselle and welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things writing, traditional publishing, and a little bit of reading. And this is the January vlog. We are in a new year. It is 2026 and how are things going so far? So I've had my first work week, which I started. This month, my focus, I wish it could be more singular, but it is not. I'm working on two things. So I'm working on the past pages for Clash of Carnivores, which is the second book in my Mastery of Monsters series. This is a young adult dark academia fantasy following a girl who gets involved in a secret society full of literal monsters to save her brother and more. She does a series of deadly competitions. She teams up with a monstrous boy. Those are the vibes, the gist of the series. And so A Clash of Carnivores is the second book in the trilogy, so 3 books overall. And I'm working on past pages, which are the proof pages of a book. So this is like a proofreader's gone through it, and now I'm going through it, reading through the whole book with a very fine-tooth comb, because these are kind of like the final changes I will be able to make before the book goes to print. And I want to make sure that I'm really happy with the product. So I'm working on those. And then I'm also working on finishing the first draft of the third book in the Mastery of Monsters series, the third and final book, whose title hasn't been revealed yet. But I'm working on the first draft of that. And yeah, so I'm having to do both. In the beginning of the week, I was like, I'll do both. So I was drafting in the morning, and then in the afternoon, I was like, I'll read like 50 pages of the manuscript for past pages. And I did that right up until Thursday, almost. And then Thursday was when things just started to go downhill, because the previous days I had basically like been stuck each day working like all the way until the evening to get in work on both. So to finish the chapter I had to write for the third book, and then also to read through 50 pages of Clash, and it was too much. It was too much to do, and I was like Thursday, I was like, I'm freaking out. And I didn't finish the chapter I was working on, and then I also didn't do any past pages, and I was just like, I can't do it. And then I was like, oh, I'll work on the weekend to make up past pages. And I was like, I don't want to work on the weekend. I hate working on the weekend so much. And I was just like, okay, let's figure things out. So what I've decided to do is to work exclusively on past pages up until my deadline for that, which is the end of next week, and just focus only on past pages and just do that. I'm gonna have to read more pages a day, but I'm only doing that, so that's good. And then in the last 2 weeks of the month, just finish off drafting, because I do have enough time where I can get the first draft done for the deadline. So I was like, I just can't do both. I wanted to do both because I was paranoid that, like, I don't know, I wouldn't be able to write one day, or I'd be too tired and then I wouldn't be able to finish in time. But I was like, the opposite happened. Trying to do both was too much. So that's where I'm at right now. So past pages wise, yeah, I'm in that phase where I'm like, oh my God, is this bad? Is this actually trash? And I've written the whole thing and it's too late to do anything. And I know it's not, but that's just like, this is my process. Usually at this past page phase, I go through this. I decide that it's actually a horrific, terrible book and everyone is going to hate it and I've done a horrible job. And then I calm down again and things even out. So I'm working through that. It's just because I'm like changing a good amount of things. And so yeah, I'm settling in my heart and my soul, and I'm just working through it smoothly, and I'm telling myself everything will be fine, because everything will be fine. So that's where I'm at with the past pages. And then the drafting of the third book, yeah, it's a mess. It's a huge mess. But at least I'm in the third act now. I felt like I was in second act purgatory forever, and now I'm in the third act. But I think the thing, I'm just tired, man. I've been working only on this third book for like 4 months. And that was not the plan. That was never the plan. I was supposed to have more time to work on other things, but between the house selling and the moving and all this other stuff, I just like, I really had to focus in, and it's just so painful. It's so painful. I just want to work on something else. I want to work on any other book so desperately. I want to work on the slug book so desperately. I'm so tired of working on this book. I'm the sort of person where I switch between a lot of projects, and my ideal situation is to be able to switch between a project every month. Even if that just means I'm flip-flopping between 2 projects, I don't care. I need to have a break and be able to work on another project, but because the Mastery series is such a giant thing, world building wise and character wise and planning wise, it just takes me double the amount of time to do everything, and I haven't been able to switch from it. And I just like, I desperately need a break from this third book. I so desperately need a break from it, and I'm hitting that point, man. I really, the other day I was like, what if I just wrote in square brackets epic battle just handed it in? Like, this is the level of desperation that I'm reaching. I just want to not be working on this book anymore because I'm so tired. But I will persist. I will finish a draft. It will be the messiest draft ever, and I'm very sad that I have to send this to my editor. I literally already pre-wrote an email to my editor apologizing for having to send the first draft and being like, I'm so sorry. I do truly know it's a mess, but I do think it's got good bones, but also I'm so sorry. So anyway, that's the feeling. Those are the vibes of the month so far. But in more fun news, I've been reading a book. I've been reading Strange Houses by Uketsu, which is basically, it's like a horror novel. Basically this author comes across like a sort of interesting floor plan, and it sort of delves into this whole murder mystery thing. It's like a mixed media thing, so you see lots of like different floor plans, and they like talk about them and write about them and stuff like that. And so yeah, I'm really enjoying this one. Like, I'm really sucked into the story of it. I'm actually almost finished. It's also a short book, which is great. So I'm really excited about getting back into reading. I really want to get back into reading this year. That's something I really struggled with in the latter half of 2025, and I really want to get back into it. So I'm excited that I picked up this, and I was enjoying it so much that I actually went and picked up the next book. This was actually the first book, but I didn't realize. I just saw this one in the bookstore, so I got it. So this is Strange Pictures, which is apparently the first one that was released. I assume it's going to be very similar to the first one, just with like pictures instead. And I saw that there was another one announced recently. Oh, but what was it called? I can't remember. But anyway, I'm invested now. So I got this one and I got the next one. So I'm really excited about reading these. I'm also on audio. I was reading Their Vicious Oaths by Nia Davenport, or Any Davenport is the name that she's using for this one, by Any Davenport. And it is like a black fantasy romantasy following like these like fae families and these like fae royals and stuff. I'm not very far into that one, but I am enjoying it so far. But I think I need to get a physical copy because I feel like I'm in the state of mind now where I just want to read things physically, which I get into sometimes. I find myself, I'm struggling to pay attention to audio, and I'm much more interested in just physically reading things. So I'll probably just buy a copy. I meant to buy a copy anyway, like a physical copy. So I will just kind of get around to getting that. So yeah, and I will check back in with you at the end of next week.
melody. I just need to find my way. So when I fall behind, just give me one more day to regret the word I could never say. I'm drowning with the past, ocean of yesterday. Stuck in the night with no end, but I'll be alright. Come morning, don't take me now. I'm so damn close to learning how. I need your ghost. Melody, I just need to stay awake, but you're obsessed with time, no clue what's at stake. In the final round of a lifelong game, so I step out of bounds. I don't want things to change. Stuck in the night with no end, but I'll be alright. Come morning, don't take me now. I'm so damn close to learning how. I need your ghost. You want something more. You're waiting for the light to change. Well, I've been here before, and nothing's gonna be the same.
Yet again, life has thrown a curveball. So here's what happened. I got an email from my editor and she was like, hey, I am behind on some of my edits, so I won't be able to get to your edits until March. Would you like to have an extension until March 1st? Okay, here's the thing about this. I struggle because on one hand, yes, amazing to have more time, because the whole thing of this is I didn't have enough time to do a self-edit on this book, and so I was gonna have to send my extremely raw first draft, which I was not super pleased about. So now I have more time so that I could take a look at that. The problem is, one, I'm tired of working on this book. I'm so tired of working on this book. Oh, I just wanted to hand it in and be done with it for a bit. I'm so tired of working on this book. But also, I may have another deadline coming up in February for secret project stuff. You can check out my video where I talk about my writing projects more, but there's a secret thing and I believe I'm going to get like notes back for that in February. And so that's why it kind of worked out well, in that I was going to hand in this in February and then I would shift to working on that. And now, I don't know. So I ended up emailing my editor and I was like, I may have a deadline in that time, so I might not be able to do more work on it than I would have been able to do for that February 1st deadline. But I will take the extra time just in case I can. So my plan is, right now I'm still doing the draft. So I haven't even finished. I haven't even finished the draft yet. So I'm still doing that. But when I'm done, my plan is to do a read through of it, basically, which I wanted to do and I wasn't going to have time to, but now I have time. So just to do just a read through of it and do whatever little changes I can do in that way. And I'm planning to do that because I think that's something I could do at the same time that I do edits, which I know this sounds like classic Liselle overloads herself and then she panics and she's like, I can't work on 2 things at once. But I will say that currently, like this week, I have been reading through the slug book and like making notes on it. I just like made it into a PDF basically and like put it on my iPad so I can just, you know, make little notes and stuff. I decided to do that because I think that's kind of nice, because for one, then I can work anywhere. I can like lay on the couch and stuff like that and do it. But it, you know, it gives me a little bit of like time, and I'm super breaking it up. So I'm not reading that much each day. Like I'm reading maybe like 20 pages or something per day. And so given the amount of time, like the extra month, considering that this book is giant and will probably be 120,000 words by the time I finish, it would let me kind of read through just a few chapters per day, and make those changes so it feels like a more doable workload, even if I had my other deadline at the same time. So that's my current plan. But yeah, I mean, I do still have to finish the draft, which I've continued to work on. How's it going? I do think it's going better now. I feel like I'm hitting my stride a little bit more in the third act. Like I feel like the chapters, I'm like, okay, these are like turning out good. Like I'm feeling more like these are of substance and like good, strong chapters, even though they need work. Whereas like towards the like latter bit of the middle, I was like, I don't even know what this is. Like, I don't know what's happening right now. I feel like now I'm getting back on track. I'm still not following my plot beats as strongly as I should, but I'm feeling like, okay, I'm going somewhere. I'm like hitting on things that need to be hit on. I feel like it's going a lot better. I feel like the relationship stuff is stronger and I'm getting good moments from like the different POVs, and so I feel like, okay, this is, you know, more, and I'm feeling the interest of the third act. Like I do think I've done a good job with this third act of like still having a good amount of like twists and turns, because I feel like at least for me, like I feel like it can be really easy in a third act to have a tendency for it to just feel like one long wrap up session. Like, okay, now we're just wrapping everything up, and we're just full speed towards the end. And so I like it to feel like there's still kind of like an up and down sort of feeling, even if we're like getting to that ending bit. And I do feel like there is that more. So I feel like that's going well, but I am glad to have extra time, because at least now it's not like I'm like writing down to the wire. Like I have some extra time if whatever happens, or I like feel really tired one day. It's good to have extra time. It is. It's always good to have extra time. There was the initial panic because I was like, I don't want to keep working on this for another month. But also, if I work on it for another month, I can at least like polish up some more stuff and like have it feel less first drafty. At least feel a little bit more polished. So I'm glad about that. So yeah, that's me. So I finished my drafting for today, and then I'm gonna do some more slug book reading. I am excited about getting to read through the slug book, and maybe because it was already a self-edited draft that I had sent to my agent, when I'm reading through it now, I'm like, oh, this is so good. What an amazing, beautiful book. I think it's great. I love this so much. I still can see, you know, the areas for improvement, obviously, but I'm like, oh, this book is fantastic. My little weird, gross slug book, just so good. It's so good. I'm so pleased with it. But yeah, I'm in the beginning of the book, so I'm sure as I get further on, I will see the mess. But for now, very happy about it. So that is where I'm at, and yeah, I'll check in with you again later.
I can be stubborn, thinking I'm right. I can be late, cause I'm taking my time. I can be driven, ambitious, your best friend, love of your life. I can be selfish, trying to be kinder, always forgetting, needing reminders. But I'll always be there when you need me. Cause I know that two things can't be true. Cause I get so confident yet confused. So I'll let go to live in between who I am and who I wanna be. Maybe I'm incomplete and a messed up masterpiece. Know everything and nothing, a childish 20-something with my pros and my cons, my mistakes and my flaws. Don't have it figured out yet. I'm a work of art and a work in progress.
You're not understanding. Also, is there anything you'd like to say? That's all.
I'm indecisive, I don't know why. My good intentions fail me sometimes, but I don't get angry, it can't faze me. We can talk it out, no we don't need to fight. I can get anxious, but I won't cry. You never know, cause I keep it inside. So I show up strong, maybe to a fault. Cause I know that two things can't be true. Cause I go from bossa to blues. So I'll grow to love in between who I am and who I wanna be. Oh, maybe I'm incomplete and a messed up masterpiece. Know everything and nothing, a childish 20-something with my pros and my cons, my mistakes and my flaws. Don't have it figured out yet. I'm a work of art and a work in progress.
And we have arrived at the end of the vlog, and what have I accomplished for January? I haven't finished anything. Basically, as soon as I got more time from my editor, my brain went, slack off a bit. So I was like, there's no more urgency. And the other edits that I'm anticipating also haven't come in yet for that secret project thing. And so I'm no longer, there's no rush. There's literally no rush. And so I've just been taking my time now. What was previously like a speed to the finish because my deadline was coming up very rapidly and I was not yet done, has now become a like, okay, let's like relax, let's chill for a bit, let's calm down, let's take some time. So that's what I've been doing, taking my time a little bit more. I have about 4 chapters of the last mastery book left to draft. So I would be shocked if I could not finish in the first week of February. So I'm anticipating that I will. And then I've also been reading through the slug book. So I'm making good progress on that. I also looked back at my agent's notes just to kind of like refresh myself with some of the things that she had said. There was more stuff than I had remembered. But again, I don't think it's structural necessarily. It's just kind of deepening things. And I do feel that when I read it, it's not that like the subject matter is shallow, but it feels like I'm just on the surface and I really need to go quite a bit deeper. And I think when I do that, this story will feel like richer for that. So that's kind of where I'm at for that. So yeah, I'm just in between a lot of things at the moment. So yeah, that is pretty much where I am, but I'm excited that I was able to do some reading this month. Not as much as I have done in the past, but certainly more than I had been doing lately. I also am very excited to say I'm reaching back for it just because I know it's here. I finished Nona the Ninth finally. By Tamsyn Muir, I feel like I read one of these books like each year because they're like quite dense, and so I feel like I usually end up just like the way I've been reading, I've just been like spacing them out by a year. And because I know Electo like has no release date, I was like, I'm not in a hurry. It's similar to this drafting of this last book. I was like, there's no hurry for this. So yeah, I also only have a hardcover of Nona because I like found it on sale. I need to get hardcovers of the first two books. I feel like for a long time I really held out because of those really nice Illumicrate versions, and I thought maybe they'll come back, but I don't think they're ever coming back. So yeah, so I have a hardcover here. Maybe if I get back into bookbinding and or figure out how to do sprayed edges really well, maybe I can just paint some edges myself. But I don't know when I'm gonna get back into that hobby. It does take a lot. I bound one book and I was like, whew, that was a lot. And proceeded to not do more. So anyway, but this was amazing, fantastic. I don't really know how much I can say because it's the third book in a series, but it's the Locked Tomb series. It's about necromancers and lesbians. It's great. It's fantastic. And space, very complicated. I really like this book a lot. I wasn't sure because each book is a different narrator. I'm always unsure how I'm gonna feel about the next narrator. But I really did love Nona. Really loved her POV and like her like friendships with the like kids, which I'm also like a hard sell on like kids. I feel like I usually don't super enjoy them in a book, like small children in like an adult book. I think I find that often, I don't know, they come across as like inauthentic in a way, or like weird, or like plot devicey. But these were, for their circumstances that they're living in, I felt like really like realistic kids. And I really like that. And yeah, I enjoyed everything. Once again, I did have to go read a bunch of Reddit stuff and look up a bunch of stuff to understand what I had consumed. But yeah, no, absolutely loved it. I'm a huge fan of this series, so I'm glad that I was able to read this book. I'm hopeful that I can read more stuff. I did read it via audio. I think that's what's working really well for me right now, is I like play Animal Crossing on my Switch and I listen to audiobooks. And so I feel like that's working out well for me. Because otherwise stuff I've been consuming, like watching, has required me to read subtitles, so I can't watch stuff and play Animal Crossing. But also, I mean, even when things don't have subtitles, I watched the whole first half of the new Bridgerton series, and I was just like very locked in. I also couldn't play Animal Crossing while I was watching. Oh, it was so good too. You know, I really didn't think I would care for Benedict's season, but just like the season before, where I was like, I didn't think, or before that one, because I was interested in Penelope's season because I really love Nicola. But the series before with Anthony, I was like, I'm not gonna be interested in him as a character. And then the season came around and I was like, oh, I'm very involved. So, and I feel like it's mostly the female lead that makes me involved versus the guy. Like, I feel like I'm very invested in Sophie, and so I'm enjoying that one. So I'm upset that I have to wait until another month to see the rest of the season. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. So that's what I've been doing while taking it easy, but I'm enjoying in my soul the taking it easy for this final bit of the draft, especially because like putting together the ending is really difficult. So I'm appreciating having that time. But yeah, that is it for the January vlog. I was like, what month is it? The January vlog. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, and I will see you again in February. Bye.
Maybe I'm incomplete.